Good morning and welcome back to Gaming with ADHD, where today we're going to be continuing our deep dive into the Mechwarrior the Battletech role-playing game, first edition.
Number one, baby. Number one. Use the right finger.
Yeah. I am your host, Brian, and I am joined today by
MaxLiao from Legion of Myth. I am ready to go. We're going to be talking about creating units, and I think there's one other thing. Oh, and technology, because technology is important when you have little stompy robots.
I mean, like it's nice to keep them moving, be able to.
And it's funny how they can do that, but they can't make glasses.
Huh?
Lost tech? There are certain places where even your vision can't be corrected.
What?
In the 3025 era, there are places of such lost tech that they sometimes live dang near in the Stone Age.
I do not recall ever hearing that.
They I don't want to say retcon, but they pulled out a lot of things, probably because they realized it didn't make much sense. But by the time the 3050 era came around, mechs were a dime a dozen. Anything you wanted could be got. Cybernetics were all high level. They very rarely talked about lost tech. But if you read some of those first novels,
I mean, like I could see it because like, okay, if things have been bombed into the Stone Age, maybe somebody forgot about this colony. The water purification plant stopped working, but not everybody got evacuated off planet, so maybe there's some people still living there. I could see that on occasional situations, but
can you throw up A88's question?
Yeah.
No, that's the simple answer. Now, with that said, there are some aspects of it. If you want to bring in a Hussar but use only 3025 tech, grudgingly probably allow it. But I pulled the books out, I'd probably give you some sort of quirk based out of this book, some jury rig something, or generally speaking, my friends don't use any of that. One of my friends plays up to the 3039 era, so he's a little bit more flexible and stuff like that. But as long as it's not the old, the new old tech, the Star League tech, I probably wouldn't have much of a issue with it. But
yeah. So I mean, we'll keep repeating this over and over. Max is the 3025 purist. I am the it's more Battletech. Let's have at it. But that's okay. We can still be friends here.
Except for if you use the term double blind. The proper term is limited intelligence.
I have only ever heard double blind.
Nah. Young whippersnappers coming in and ruining the hobby. Get off my lawn. You and your rock and roll.
I mean, if I wasn't here to ruin it for you, Max, who would be?
It'd be somebody else.
Right? So anyhow, let's see. So first couple weeks we covered character creation. So obviously, if you are new here, folks, or if this is your first time seeing one of our live streams, go back and check out those videos. That way you will be all caught up. And today we're going to be getting into creating your actual mech unit. So let's be honest, this is always the fun part because
before battle value. Yes.
When tonnage actually worked.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but when I mean some 40-ton mechs versus other 40-ton mechs, but yeah, when how do I don't want to. I guess the way to say it is when the game was more free, for the lack of a better term. Battle value, I understand it's important, especially when people use things like ELO and trying to find out who the actual best player. Man, we just took, you get a light, you get a medium, you get a heavy, you get an assault, let's go. Or you get 3 mediums and a heavy, or whatever. We would actually play like that. Were there some that were okay? Somebody's going to try to take a Jenner. Everybody's going to take a Grasshopper. You
Right.
knew that there were certain ones in there that people would take. Von Zark was always going to try to get a Griffin. That's fine. Me, it's a Vindicator. But as long as it wasn't like the same thing every single time, like, oh my God, why? Like, we know what you're going to take. Just put the Tundus out there and have fun. And this book has an amazing table in it where you can actually roll and say, oh, you need a 9 or better to get that mech, or you'll have to pick a different one.
No, and that's the thing. I mean, like when you're playing with friends, it's really easy to adjust that kind of stuff on the fly. It really does only get to be an issue when you're dealing with actual like sorry, I got distracted.
Like conventions and so forth, tournaments.
Right, exactly. People that you don't know, things like that. So anyways, but that's not what we're going to worry about. We're going to worry about you and your buddies and the game master, like who would never do anything to manipulate or cheat the system or, take advantage of, the other people's
of your
lack
friendship,
of knowledge. Right. Exactly. Never. They would never do that. They'd never tell you that you're the new guy, and so you have to use inner sphere tech while they're using only clan stuff. And play the game
so
based
odd
on
to
tonnage.
me, because we literally did the well, no, there's a couple guys who would only play clan tech, but like Von Zark, myself, even Jeff and Kirk, who unfortunately aren't friends anymore, they we all like, yeah, take your clan nonsense. We practice defeating clans. I told Brian, I think it was after the stream last time, maybe before, like how I play and how it frustrates the crap out of people. And some of that was born out of the concept of like, all right, I'm going against some jerk with a daishi with 95 freaking double autocannon 20s on here. How am I going to fight him? But learning how to fight against stuff like that. So I actually like taking inner sphere mechs against clan mechs.
What do you mean? There's no clan mechs.
That's right. Sometimes people just have to bring their house rules in, though.
Oh, that's fantastic. Maybe one day I'll get set up like some fancy transitions like you've got, but
I don't have any transitions. I just clicked the same button you did right there. Oh, no. That's right. I do make a cover page, but those are just my YouTube thumbnails. I just import them.
I'm just saying, one day I'll be fancy like Max, but for now we're just gonna, flip over, like this. Anyways, so anything else we need to bring up before we get started?
I think we need to figure out how to put our unit together, our unit of elite mech warriors that will take down Wolf's Dragoons and all their nonsense. Oh, we're not from here. Yeah, get out. Build a wall around this inner sphere. Sorry for being political. I just thought it was funny.
They did that in
oh yeah, the Republic of the Sphere nonsense. Yeah.
Yes.
How did that wall come falling down? I don't even know the storyline. I stopped paying attention.
Basically, it was
it Victor Einstein or Jesus? Did he do it?
No. It basically, like, they'd set up. Essentially, it was a feedback loop, so that when something jumped in, it would essentially, like, I'm butchering this, but it was essentially like an EMP pulse that would like cause the jump ship to bounce back and then destroy the Kearney Fuchida drive. And essentially you had to have like the
ECCM.
Right, exact the IFF code, or like come in, like run your jump drive at a certain free. It was something really like lame when all was said and done, but it's like, okay, because I read Hour of the Wolf, which is the best novelization of a game of Risk I have ever read. I'm not kidding. So it's like Clan Wolf is coming in to conquer Earth, what do? They land in Australia and they conquer Australia.
There you go.
And then they start moving into Asia and like go up Asia and then come down through Alaska and, you know, go west to Europe. And it's just like,
wait, Clan Wolf owns Earth now?
Yes. Clan Wolf is the ill clan. Come on.
So glad I don't follow this crap anymore.
No, but that was the funny thing when it came out. Here, I'm gonna drop back to
so much for
we're not
live stream
actually
for today.
starting.
We derailed the crap out of it.
No, but it was hilarious when it came out because everybody's like, "Oh, that's so dumb," and Alaric Wolf and blah blah blah. And I'm like, if you didn't think that Clan Wolf was going to win this thing 30 years ago, like when they first proposed it, you're an idiot.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was gonna be Victory and Steiner Jesus to save in the universe again. So I'm so sick and tired of. I actually like that character.
He's dead in the current year.
Oh, did they finally kill him off? Because he was alive. He was like 100 and some years old.
Right. No, exactly. Right. He was 100 something years old at the beginning of Dark Age, which was 31, 30-ish. And he was like, he got like one appearance in a book and then they killed him off. Hold on, what are you at?
Plot armor only costs 5,000 battle value per mech.
That's fair. That's fair. Anyways, it was like I just thought it was funny that everybody's wringing their hands and whining and complaining that Clan Wolf was the one that won, and it's just like it was always going to be.
I guess my only issue with that is it would have been good to see the inner sphere always win. True humans always win over the abominations that are the clans. That's kind of because I mean one of the things I always liked about at least the way the stories were mostly written, and Stackpole, for all his faults, I thought he did a generally really good job with this, was the concept of humanizing the folks. And it's our humanity, whether good, whether the strengths or the weaknesses, that kind of always overcame the clans. And sure, I know there are like 3 million clans now, and I've seen the map of 3145 and how the inner sphere is all gutted and looking like a weird poster board. But I don't know. For me, the clans never should have won. They should have either been pushed back or faded away.
No, but hold on. Like you're kind of misinterpreting it, because it wasn't that Clan Wolf conquered Earth and the rest of the inner sphere. No, they conquered Earth. And according to clan tradition, okay, now they are the ill clan. So they are the clan of the clan of all clans.
Yeah.
Right. But that doesn't mean that Steiner is loyal to the ill clan.
No, but there's still something special. This is our home world, and I got the whole Comstar thing. That was never an issue. No matter, for all their faults, Comstar still were human, so to speak. So I just personally, I'm glad I don't follow this stuff anymore, because I don't like the idea of the clans ever taking Earth. Like that's just a misstep.
Well, but right. No, and I can see your point. And even now, and that's the funny thing, is that even now, that like this is one thing to complain about Catalyst for, is that, you know, okay, they've done that, but that was 3 or 4 years ago when they put out that book, and for the most part, they haven't done anything.
You know what? The only thing that would have made that better is if 80% of the inner sphere would have left to go, you know, seek a better haven, and then come back 300 years later.
Well, no, but I mean, my point being that like they've even presented it that like in order for Clan Wolf to take Earth, they've been, you know, like horribly decimated. Yes, he's in charge, but you know, he's in charge of like a burning husk. You know.
Okay, so Pyrrhic victory, I get it.
Yeah, the it has a decent setup, but then they fired Blaine. Then they, and they just seem to have stalled out, and the creativity is not there.
So I got to be very, very clear when I say this that I am ignorant of a lot of this. In fact, Brian is educating me. You may go back to 3025, and I've forgotten more than most people know. But when it comes to modern stuff, I just don't follow it. So you can correct me if I'm wrong in this. I love Blaine and was it Brent's Land and Sea.
Absolutely, 100%.
I really do. I look forward to every book that comes out. I think everybody should check those out. Maybe you got a link or something for them. Look at that. I'm just putting them on the spot. But for those books, I think there's one audiobook I have not listened to yet. I should check to see if that's available. Great series. And I cannot wait for that game to come out as well. Please check it out. I preface all of that. I kiss his butt for a moment here because my understanding is like for the stuff for like the last 10 or so years that I totally despise that's happened to Battletech. I heard Blaine had a lot of input on that.
Yeah, no, right, exactly. Like after Stackpole quit, essentially he was the one that was in charge of running the core storyline.
Wait, was Stackpole when I listened to interviews of Stackpole, this is many years ago, he always he never implied that he was actually creating the storylines, that he would get the ideas for the storylines from.
No, well, no, but I just mean as far as like writing.
Oh, I got okay, yeah. No, I'm not concerned about the novels and so forth. Look, as much as I dog the clans here, I actually like the Blood of Kerensky series. I think the novels are interesting. They just make for bad gameplay. They make for good novels. Now, with that in mind, though, my understanding, though, is that, and please, Ken, correct me if I'm wrong, I like Blaine. It was great talking with him the multiple times that the twice that you let me on to talk to him. I
need to have them back.
But when I hear a lot of the stuff that was happening in Battletech during that era, and I remember him sitting here saying, yeah, I did that, and I did that, and I'm thinking in my head, like, oh. Like, well, I'm not going to be on Brian's show and give him a bunch of crap for that, because obviously it's sold, but,
Well, but also don't forget, by the time that Blaine was writing novels for Battletech, the clan invasion was well underway.
Oh, yeah. Again, I'm not talking about his novels.
Sure.
I'm going to be very, very, I'm talking about like, my understanding is he had a lot of input in the direction of the canon as a whole, not just novels, but of the game itself.
Yeah, but I mean, yes, because they would take the authors, because the authors are the ones writing the story, and so they would talk about, okay, where do we see this going? What are the pieces that we need to put into place? So yes, he did have input in the storyline. It was like there was never just one guy sitting there. It's like, okay, this is how we're going to do it. Even ask Brent about it when he was the line developer for a while. One of his first things was that everything had gotten kind of stagnant. And so he got all the writers together, sat them down in a room and said, okay, what are we doing here? And basically until they had the next quote unquote 5-year plan, he didn't let them out. So,
which is a good thing, but I don't know. If you look at the Inner Sphere for about 1,000 years, it changes, but not a lot. And then over the course of 50 years, 100 years, it's been blowing up like 4 times. Like, I like, look, one of the things I like about the 3025 era is there is stagnation. It allows me as the game master to move in a direction that I want to for my table, you to move in a direction you want at your table, but have a good core starting point.
Right. Which is why you need your own mech unit, Max.
Yes, it is. So how do I make one? Tell me how I make one. Apparently it's 6 steps.
All right. Real quick, since Kevin, I know, hasn't been here for our previous episodes. This is a 2d6 system, Kevin. It's Battletech. It's always 2d6. So, anyways.
And Mechwarrior is just Battletech with more steps.
Yeah. My brain actually defaulted to the old clicky tech. Yes.
I'm so sorry.
I know what we're talking about. It's fine. All right. Now that we're 20 minutes into this, How about we get started?
Didn't she have a show to run? This is why you shouldn't have brought me on, because I'm going to derail it. No.
I mean, you've only done it the last 2 weeks. Why not for week 3?
3 strikes and I'm not out.
No, it's I'm the one with ADHD. No, that's the best part. It's been just fun conversations on top of all of learning about it. So, all right. So, folks, if you're going to play in a game of Mechwarrior, you can't just be a solo Mechwarrior running around doing whatever you want to do. It just doesn't work that way.
Have Mech will travel, sir.
Well, right, have Mech will travel, but you still can't do it alone. You need that aerospace support. You need those techs who are going to repair your mech, because let's be honest, you're a trigger puller, you're not a mechanic.
This isn't the back. Do you have the other back in your PDF? You're on page, what are you, 26 right there. What's your back cover on 147 say? Yeah, that's the one. That's the right one. What does that first line say? No, not just actually, yours don't scroll up.
Oh, it's not just a job, it's an adventure. Wait a second.
No, that's not the right one either. Where's the one where it says in the 31st century, life is cheap, but battle mechs aren't?
I don't know.
I could have sworn that was on the back cover of one of the Mechwarriors. Maybe I'm wrong. Whatever. But that is the better. That is the better back. I don't know why I've got this one.
I don't know either. I'm not in charge of your collection.
Yeah, well, so.
Anyway, so with all of that nonsense out of the way.
Anyway, I'm done. Sorry, go.
Hold on. Put that back.
I have two Mechwarriors.
Oh, okay.
There we go. See, that one and that one. I don't know which one's the original or which one came up first, but yeah. See,
I would look at the copyright date on the back
or printing. Yeah, so 86 and 86. Is there like a printing number? Why are we doing this? I really wasn't trying to derail this time.
I was squirrel brain.
86. It doesn't mention anything about printing. And this one says 86 and doesn't mention anything about printing. This one has some blue stuff in the back of it, though. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I got them both. Collect them all. Okay, I'm going on mute now, so I don't derail you anymore.
Well, no, now I want to. Even Sarna doesn't mention.
Hold up.
All right. Okay. There are at least 3 different printings. One has an alternate back cover, glossy color plates, an abridged mech list, and alternate vehicle costs. The other 2 share a back cover. Mech list and price guide. One prints the color illustrations on the same matte paper as the rest of the pages, and one prints them on glossy paper.
I found it. It's on the Battletech 2nd edition box. Again, this is not my original box. I rebought this. I still have some of my original stuff, but unfortunately, over the years, it got destroyed. Mine used to say it up here on the top, like right underneath the Battletech, where you see that red text. This one says it in this circle right here.
There you go. Exactly.
So it's actually the Battletech box that said it. But I know mine said it up there. Anyway, I've derailed so much. I'm seriously muting myself, and I'm not going to say a word until it's my time to read, or the book angers me.
All right, let's get into this. Once the players in a campaign group have completely designed and outfitted their Mechwarriors, they will create their mech unit by completing the following 6 steps. Number 1, determine a unit size. Number 2, determine aerospace support. Number 3, determine unit type and affiliation. Number 4, create NPC mech pilots. Number 5, create unit support personnel. Number 6, generate initial unit assets. It's a unit. You got to have stuff. So, determine unit size. A given mech party can consist of either a single lance, 2 lances, a full company, or maybe an odd lot consisting of the player character's group. To determine the total mech strength of the player's unit, use the mech unit size table first. Find the row in the table that corresponds to the number of player characters, then roll 2d6. The game master can, of course, ignore this table and simply make up his own decision about the total size of the campaign group. So, number of player characters. Now, remember, this is player characters, not players. Okay, because as we learned in week 1, Mechwarrior is very well suited for troop play, so that way, you're not just a mech pilot trying to coordinate with, the tech on the ground, and it just doesn't make any sense. All right, so you're gonna have a grouping of characters, and so based on that, actually now I'm mildly. So roll.
Yeah, I'll roll 2d6 for you. Oh crap! I just broke my vow. I talked. Well, I can.
You're fine. I'm just.
All right, I rolled a 4. So how many PCs do we have? Well, it's just the 2 of us. So we made 4, so that'd be 8. So we got 2 lances.
Okay. Oh, my, I don't know why, but this in my head was not like the dice roll. This was like the number of units in that.
Oh.
So yes, so we have 4 PCs. You rolled a 4, so we have a lance. There we go. Congratulations.
What? We only have 2 PCs? No, I thought we made 1 of each.
Right, we have 1 of each. So we have 4 PCs, 4 player characters. 2 players, 4 player characters. So we have.
I thought we had 8 player characters. I thought we had an intel guy, or was it? What were they again? They're the tech, the Mechwarrior, the tech, the scout, and whatever the other one was.
The aerospace pilot.
So that'd be 8. We have 8.
That's true. Okay, so then we have 2 lances.
That's right, baby. 2 lances. Woo, yeah. I'm trying to get us more mechs, and he's like, no.
Well, and that was the thing. Like, okay, I don't see why you would necessarily have to roll the dice, because in my head, it's like, you would kind of pick the unit size based, like I would just say you pick the unit size based on the number of mech warriors that everybody's gonna make.
Yeah, that's how, honestly, that's how I would do it as well. But going with what the book is showing right now, rules is written, now it does say, didn't it say, I thought I heard you read it, that you can pick your mech size just based on the PCs?
Yeah, it says the game master can, of course, ignore this table and simply make his own decision about the total size of the campaign group.
Oh yeah.
So,
but it's fun to roll. I like to roll dice. That's why I have clickety clack math rocks.
Exactly. Is it really a role playing game if it doesn't have some sort of random table that could just be hand waved around?
See, well, you know what this table's missing? It's missing. If you roll snake eyes, if you get a 2, you should be dispossessed.
You should be. No, because this is for the whole unit, not for an individual character.
Great, you're taking care. You got 1 Savannah Master you're taking care of. Good job.
1 Savannah Master for the whole company. All right. All right. If the die roll result indicates a full company, roll another d6 to determine the unit's highest level of organization. On a roll of a 1, company only. 2 through 4, unit is part of a battle mech battalion or 3 companies. 5 to 6, you're part of a regiment or 3 battalions. That, I think, is when you're starting to get ridiculous and, have those. Yeah, but you don't.
Well, so I was part of a game where we actually were part of a full regiment, but our missions were only us. Other things happened with another set of players, apparently, and then the rest was just kind of in that game master or organizer, whatever the term he was trying to use in his mind as things went forward. But our lance, we did our stuff, and we were part of a recon. We were part of a fire company. We were the recon lance of a fire company. Yada yada yada. Right. So the missions were just for us, but they would spread out. The effects would spread out. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. All right. Tell us about aerospace support, Max.
Why do I always have to be the fly jockey? Oh wait. Aim high, Air Force, baby.
I was gonna say, I mean, it kind of fits. I mean, not
It
with your
does fit.
eyesight, but I mean, with your
Ooh,
background.
wasn't a pilot.
I know. I said
It's a graphic artist. I drew for the Air Force.
I said not with your eyesight, but based on your background.
All right. Determine aerospace support. In this phase, players determine whether their unit presently contains a functional air lance consisting of 2 aerospace fighters, 2 pilots, and 2 engineers. Roll 2d6 and compare the result to the appropriate unit size class in the air lance status table below. Treat units consisting solely of player characters as equivalent to the next highest size. For example, 2 to 3 mechs equals 1 lance. 5 to 7 mechs equals 2 lances. 9 to 11 mechs equals a company. Okay, are we supposed to roll this thing or what? Air lance status, die roll for an air lance. Ooh. So if we only have a lance, is that what we fit? No, we're 2 lances, right? Yeah, random roll was 2 lances. Okay, I need a 2 to 8, baby. Come on, 2 to 8. 2 to 8. I got a 7, 3 and 4. Yeah, we've got air status.
This is to determine just if you even have an aerospace lance in your. Okay, yes. I'm like, why are we rolling off? This doesn't. Okay, sorry. You were getting all excited. You were rolling dice. I still was trying to comprehend what we just read. All right.
But you're absolutely right. That was to determine if we have aerospace fighters supporting us, and we do.
Right, which again can be completely hand waved around by just making aerospace pilot characters. Then you got to have it anyways. All right, keep going.
If a unit has an active air lance, players may also roll 2d6 and consult the unit dropship status table to determine whether the unit controls 1 or more dropships. I see my reading comprehension's going well today. All right, roll for a drop. So we are 2 lances, 2 to 10. We got this one. There's no way I'll screw this up. 10. Okay, I got nervous for a second there. Yes. So we have 10. So it looks like 2 leopards. I'm okay with that. I mean, leopards are just over glorified aerospace fighters anyway.
Or we can have 1 union.
Oh, that's right. That's a roll. I didn't realize that was a roll. Good catch. Good catch. And we have a 5. What's that? 2 leopards.
That's 2 leopards.
That's okay. I didn't want the ball of doom anyway.
Let's be honest. I mean, having 2 drop ships is going to give you a bit more tactical flexibility anyways.
Yeah. There you go.
You know, you can have one running air support while the other one lands. You know, of course, then you're also even more restricted because then you have to have a runway to land it on.
Yeah, but yeah. Can't argue that one.
No, actually, the funny thing is that is actually making me think, like, adding this kind of stuff in is changing up how the game is going to run. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. You've got a contract. Okay, you have to infiltrate in. Great. We've only got leopards. They're aerodyne, so that means it comes in and lands like an airplane. There's no functioning airfield here. Okay, are we going to airdrop our mechs in?
They have the cocoons.
No, I know they have that. I'm just, but then how do you extract? Do you have to send?
I hope you have a lot of jump jets, baby.
Yeah.
Well, no, you better win. See, that's why talking about aerospace fighters, in the 31st century, the Air Force combat controllers still exist. And what their job is they go to the planet, first in, first out, baby, and they make the airfields.
Exactly.
All right. Regiments often have a wide variety of dropships available for any kind of mission. If a unit controls a dropship, it may roll in the unit jump ship status table to determine whether it possesses a jump ship. Okay, 2 lances. Really? We have a 2 in 6 chance? That's high in my opinion, but okay. And I roll a 3 and a 5 and 8. Oh, we don't have a jump ship.
Oh, Max.
I know. Hey, my dice have been pretty good today.
Well, I mean, of course.
For me.
The difficulty there is just going to come down to, are we house affiliated or are we a dirty mercenary company?
Well, we haven't got to. I know that's in here somewhere.
Of course. I mean, it has to be in there. I'm just saying.
Oh,
look at that.
Prognostication. Will Mr. Prognosticator have at it?
All right. After you determine whether or not you've got any aerospace support, you're going to determine unit type and affiliation. Each unit first rolls 2d6 to determine whether it is a mercenary, 2 to 6, or house unit. Max, are we a mercenary or house unit?
I rolled a snake eyes. What's that?
We are mercenaries. Great. So we do have drop ships, but we are begging for rides. Players should subtract 1 from this die result if their unit consists of 8 or less mechs, or subtract 3 from the die roll result if their unit consists of 4 or less.
Wait. So really, I rolled a 1?
I mean, yes, but
wait, we don't even have that. We only have 2 mechs. We like. Well, no, it said 2 lances, so that'd be 8. But
yeah, if we're running on 2 lances, that's up to 8 mechs. Okay. But regardless,
why? So I rolled a 1.
Why would that make it more likely to be a mercenary unit? I would think that would make it more likely to be a house unit.
Especially in the 3025 era, I agree with you. Huh, that's weird. Okay.
Whatever. We're a bunch of dirty mercs. All right.
1 isn't even an option. Does that mean we're dispossessed? I'm so hoping. I'm going for that.
All right. Let's see. Players should subtract 1 from this die roll if their unit consists of 8 or less mechs, or subtract 3 from the die roll if their unit consists of 4 or less mechs. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Players should subtract 1 if their unit consists of 8 or less, or 3 if it's 4 or less. So you are more likely to be a mercenary unit the smaller the unit that you have. Okay, because if I only have 4 mechs and I'm doing a -3, well, then that's going to put me in that 2 to 6 range a lot easier. So all right. Okay. Now we understand. The group then rolls 2 dice. So a D6 result.
Oh, D6. Okay. The one that's on this side is high. Just read them in order. 11. God, that's 2 snake eyes in a row.
Max's absolute favorite. We are affiliated with House Davion.
I quit. You know what? I'm going to quit so hard. I'm going to do the seppuku. I'm going to be Korean for a day, and I'm seppukuing myself. That's a word. Try look it up.
Yeah,
Harakiri for the win.
I think we're going to we're probably stationed somewhere near the St. Ives Compact. Yeah, or what will become the St. Ives Compact.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of trader's talk you're talking about there, but it's St. Ives commonality, sir.
I mean, it'll become the compact one day. On a roll of 54 or 55, roll 2d6 again to determine which bandit kingdom the players serve. Hendrik of Oberon, Cercinius Federation, Marius O'Reilly, Helmar Valasek, Red Jack Ryan, or Belt Pirates. Okay, I just wanted to read that off just because I like that they actually broke that down. And threw in just some of these, periphery bandit.
And some of them, if you actually read the periphery book, have some very interesting histories. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's Marius is actually like pure Roman Empire, if I'm remembering correctly. There's one that is like 31st century Roman Empire. I think it's the Marian hegemony, hegemony, or whatever the hell we're supposed to say. And I think that's Marius O'Reilly. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I know one of them is that, and I'm pretty sure it's the Marians.
Got it. Yeah, regardless, again, little details like this I always love. All right, mercenary unit affiliation. It could be Lyndon's Company, the Rough Riders, the 21st Centauri Lancers, an independent merc company. Actually, we are mercs, aren't we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, but it said who. So right now that's fine. The house unit was like who we're supporting now. That contract can change. Are we also supposed to roll to see if we are part of one of these mercenaries or our own mercenary company?
No,
it says on a 55 or 54. So we didn't get that. No. So we're our own mercenary company that's working for House Davion right now.
No, 54, 55 is for the Bandit King affiliation.
Mm-hmm.
But we're mercenaries, so we are going to have a mercenary unit affiliation. So roll 2d6.
I want my own. I don't want to see who any good ones in there. No, literally no.
What do you mean? We got Wolf's Dragoons. They're the bestest.
Replace that second 21st Centauri Lancers with Mechwarrion's Armored Cavalry, please.
Yes, we're affiliated.
Oh, Eridani Light Horse. Well, you know what? That's fair. They're a bunch of scouts.
We're affiliated with the Mechwarrion's Armored Cavalry working for House Davion. There we go, Max. Good call.
I mean, they were mercenary at one point. Okay, 20. Well, actually, wait a minute. What did I roll? I rolled 9. 21st Century. No. I wrote Eridani rolled Eridani Lighthorse, which guess who they're employed by?
House Davian?
Yep.
There we go. Like, I mean, we're just winning on these dice rolls. Good job, Max.
Who's this we thing?
Changing house affiliation. During the course of a Mechwarrior campaign, most units, particularly mercenaries, will have opportunities to change their house allegiance. And so the players group should not be too disappointed if their initial affiliation does not appeal to them. On the other hand, players should remember that every house offers some advantages to the Mechwarriors serving it. At present, the houses Davian, Steiner, and Karita control the largest and most powerful mech forces in the successor states. Davian and Steiner offer the additional potential perk of training at the University of New Avalon. However, the very strength of these houses can also work against the player character's chances of making a name for themselves, for they will have to compete with many renowned and often larger units for plum assignments, and so may find themselves exiled to long periods of garrison duty or riot duty on backward planets.
I don't think this book gets into it because it's probably before it was written. That's my guess anyway. But you don't want to work for House Karita. Takashi Karita is absolutely an a-hole when it comes to mercenaries.
Yeah,
so it was Theodore that brought up that smoothed it over.
Right, and but that was also like right before the clan invasion storyline. So yeah, in this particular era.
Well, no, it was written in the House Karita book as well, in the actual House Karita book.
Right. No, but I'm agreeing with you that it's not necessarily the best choice, but I think the main point that they're making is that you're going, if you're hold on. Well, actually, remember, this isn't necessarily about being a mercenary. For us,
I wasn't talking about that part. It doesn't mention it at all in here. I mean, it does kind of imply that Steiner and Davian are good. Also implies that Karita is good. I would say that if I were a merc, you go to Merrick, because that's where all the craziness is happening. They're buying mech warriors all over the place, and they're rich.
Okay, but Max, hold on. You're stuck on the mercenary thing. What this is talking about, at present, the houses Davian, Steiner, and Karita control the largest and most powerful mech forces in the successor states. So if you have a house unit, this statement right here is going to impact that.
I only care about our unit. I don't care what other people are doing.
That's fair. I'm just saying why they're saying that, and it's not necessarily a knock on Karita for being hard on mercenaries, at least the way that sentence is written. So anyways, let me continue. All right. Conversely, the very problems of dissension and eroding empire that beset houses Mech and Liao can work in the player's favor, giving them less competition and better opportunities to build a reputation.
Suicide.
No, Mech and Liao, not Karita.
Okay, homicide.
A similar balance exists between the advantages and disadvantages of a mercenary versus regular units. Mercenary units will have a lot of freedom of action and some ability to pick and choose possible assignments, but are also more susceptible to economic hardships and crippling losses of equipment or manpower. Regular units are usually better supplied, kept closer to full fighting strength, and much more likely to receive lands, titles, and real political influence. However, these regulars most often pay for their advantages by accepting a less appealing range of assignments, including tasks either duller or riskier than the player's group might prefer. Have the players try out any unit, type, or affiliation result they receive for a few sessions before granting them a change. Game masters may, of course, decide to allow players simply to choose their unit assignments.
A pet peeve of mine, and maybe this is because I was in the military. First of all, I don't like customizing mechs at all. I think that's gross and shouldn't happen, especially if you're, I'm sorry, you were assigned an M1 Abrams tank. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna take it to the shop and I'm gonna get it refitted with all the things I want. Like, no, this is what you were issued. This is what you were going to pilot. This is what you were going to use, and this is the training for using it. Now, with all that, with that said, what the hell? I'm just trying to stream over here, you weirdo. It's my cat. He's acting dumb. I forgot what I was saying now. I was saying something about house units are going to get a salary. They're going to get you have to go on whatever mission you're assigned. You've got a chain of command. Not to be fair, mercenaries have that as well. There's a lot less freedom. But what are the benefits? You got better healthcare. I know this might sound silly, but think about it. You're going to have better healthcare because they're going to take you back, no soldier left behind kind of concept. You're going to get the state behind you, and you're not necessarily going to have to worry about if you can afford it. You're going to get it. So there is some stability for being a house unit, vice if you're a mercenary. Now, mercenaries, hey, if you're worth your salt, guess what? You're gonna be welcome, and your name is going to spread, and you're gonna possibly be able to afford all that. If you can't, well, then every point of damage you take to that mech adds up.
Yeah. So I no, and that's one thing that I like. Even the way that they're presenting this, like they're saying, okay, here's a chart, roll on this. This is what your answer is going to be, but then they're still giving you a lot of options as far as, hey, go ahead and pick this. Or if you don't like the dice result, run it for a few sessions and then maybe you defect, or contract is over.
And game masters can make any type of missions that they want. Look, lore to me trumps game rules in almost every aspect. I'm a spirit of the game player over the spirit of law over the letter of law. Obviously, on a tactical map, you can't do that. You have to play by Battletech rules. But what I'm saying is, if you're playing for House Kurita, you're going to have some of that Bushido nonsense in there. If you're going to be playing for the Capellan Confederation, well, elastic defense is a thing, mercenary. Have at it. You go stretch them out while we go running back. We're going to be saving the house units before we save your units. House Merrick, you don't know if you're shooting the guy on that side or the guy behind you. Like I'm exaggerating for effect, but you get what I'm saying here. You can have very interesting missions. Just game masters don't screw over the players for the purposes of screwing them over. But yeah, I also say lean into the house flavor.
Right, exactly. I mean, I'd say the main reason to be using the tables for rolling off, how big is your unit? Do you have aerospace assets? That kind of stuff is going to be more like if you guys can't decide.
Right, and also remember, it's a product of its time. Everything was random tables.
Right, exactly. The number of times going over stuff like this and being like, it's a product of its time. I mean, that's the other thing. Think about it. This came out, role-playing games were 10 years old. Like total, when this launched. Whereas now, it's 50 years of different game design and so many different options. So
theory and university classes and
yeah, exactly. So anyways, with that said, tell us about how to create NPCs, Max.
You want to put it on the screen or you want me to read it out of my book?
Maybe I should put it on the screen. Maybe I'd forgotten that. Whatever. Shut your face.
I can't if you want me to read this. Create NPC mech warriors. In this phase, players select attributes, skills, and mechs for each of the NPC mech warriors traveling with the unit. Note, if the player characters represent half or less of the total unit's mechs, Game Master should give them the option of constructing a second and sometimes even a third player character mech warrior. I'm going to have like 40 characters, man. all lances and single mechs generated receive the regular allotment of 150 character points per person or 600 per lance. Following are some examples of creating NPC mech warriors.
Hold on, real quick, Max. It's 150 character points per man. No female characters here.
That what I say?
You said person or play. Whatever.
Well, you know what? I'm one of those people who believes in postman, congressman, whatever. Here's this. I'll actually say this because I've said this on my streams a bunch. I've already read like the next paragraph. This is why I get tripped up over my words a lot, is because you'd think Max would rub off on you, right? Is because of the fact that I've already started reading so far ahead that I haven't spoken, that I've got multiple words in my noggin. I have a very hard time reading slowly. That is why I continually trip up. So the reason I said person there, I don't know why, because I see it says man, and I definitely am not one of those people that wants to change man to person. Screw that.
Max, I just wanted to laugh and say that we
I'm with you.
female mech warriors because of this.
Well, no. Man is gender neutral. This is why I don't like singular they, but I won't interrupt your stream to go onto my tirade about singular they. All right, where are we? Following some examples of creating NPC mech warriors. A unit of 2 lances has 5 player characters, leaving 3 mech warriors to be generated. Remember, 2 lances, for folks out there who might be new to the mech warrior universe, a lance consists of 4 mechs. So 2 lances is 8 mechs. Now, this book doesn't get into it, but I'm going to be a little weirdo and sidetrack everything here for a second. There are oversized lances, which are 5. You can do that. Can they be 6 also? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think at the end of the day, it doesn't technically matter. It's just like if you only have 6 mechs, you're
half a company.
Right. But I mean, maybe you run in 2 understrength lances, or you just run them all as 1 overstrength lance.
Sure.
And technically Comstar runs things in groups of 6 anyways. So
So what you're saying is that they're actually ComGuard.
Maybe they're ComGuard in disguise, actually getting some training.
All right. Comstar does not have mechs. I don't know why he keeps saying this stuff. A company-sized unit contains 8 player characters, leaving 4 NPCs. As the NPC group is a full lance, it receives 600 character points for distribution. Makes sense. A company-sized unit contains only 4 player characters, leaving 8 NPCs. In this case, the players should probably create a second character. They might even create 3 characters each, making the unit fully a player's group. For each additional player character created, allow the normal 150 character points per man. I did this, but I'm not going to dive into it. A company-sized unit contains 6 player characters, leaving 6 NPCs. Okay, Brian, let's see what it says here now, Mr. Man. The Game Master and players may opt either to create a second round of player characters at 150 points each, leaving no NPCs, or may decide to create a lance of 4 NPCs at 600 points and 2 individual NPCs at 150 points each. NPC character points cannot be transferred to player characters or vice versa. Yeah, no making 0-point NPCs so that you can make your 250-point character. Stop cheating. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Let's see. However, NPCs may transfer character points amongst themselves using the same restrictions that apply to player characters, except that a command lance personnel, if any, can spend a max of 300 character points per character rather than the normal 250 points maximum. Why'd they have to put that exception in there? It's a parenthetical exception in the middle of a paragraph somewhere. I get it. I understand the point cost, but that's just, they didn't need to do that.
They didn't need to give them the extra 50 character points?
Yeah.
Or just the way it was written?
Just convolute the system.
No, again, I kind of get that, because again, if you're talking like a company or a regiment scale, and you want some NPCs for, Colonel Busybody or whatever, Colonel Busybody is going to, be a bigger deal than just your baseline.
Remember, they still start with the same 150. This is all about transferring.
Yeah, well, Colonel Busybody is accompanied by Sergeant, Suckup.
And usually Sergeant Suckup is better on the field. I'd probably rather be out there with Sergeant Suckup.
I wouldn't. Those are things I would definitely put in as NPCs, but I wouldn't even necessarily stat them out. I might give them a gunnery and a piloting skill.
Yeah, I hear
for playing on the actual tactical game, but I don't care about the rest of their skills.
I guess my thing is just where this is positioned in all this text and so forth. It's like, it's just a side comment. You can do 300 if you want for an NPC somewhere randomly. It's just weird.
No, it's not. No. Actually, I think it's written perfectly fine. NPCs can transfer character points using the same restrictions, except command lance personnel, if any, can spend a maximum of 300, normal than the maximum of 250.
I believe they added that in there just so they didn't have white space at the bottom of this page.
That could also be the fact. the case.
NPCs pay the same CP cost for attribute skills and mechs, including backup mechs, as do player characters. If they meet normal admission requirements, NPCs may attempt to purchase either academy or university training packages. I went to university, haha. Oh, now we're on support unit personnel. Wow, that was quick. That was an abrupt end for NPCs. Want me to keep going, or you got it?
No, I got it. Sorry, I just was checking something real quick. All right. Create unit support personnel. Each mech unit normally contains a number of non-Mechwarrior personnel such as techs, engineers, aerospace pilots, and on-planet reconnaissance teams, or scouts and spies. Very large mech units, battalion or higher, may also include wheeled vehicles and or field artillery pieces requiring additional support personnel. The tables below provide a quick and easy method of generating estimates of a unit's support capabilities. If the player's group wishes to generate these personnel as player characters, use the rules in the chapter on other character classes. All right.
Do I have a tech?
As a general rule, each Mechwarrior normally has his own tech. So yes, you have a tech.
No, hold on.
No, as a general rule, each Mechwarrior normally has his own tech. Okay. Roll 2d6 for each mech in the unit. A result of 2 to 9 means the mech does have a tech available. A roll of 10 to 12 means they have no tech. If our mercenary company, do you not have a tech?
I rolled a 10.
Max, I wish you'd quit giving the guys a hard time. There's a reason they keep quitting on you.
They don't speak Russian or Chinese. I can't talk to them.
Well, we're in the Federated Sons where we speak the King's English.
No, they speak French. Look at me, I'm from Davion. Look at me, Pepe Le Pew.
Each Mechwarrior with a tech can use the NPC technician skill table to determine his tech skill level. First, the Mechwarrior finds the row in the table corresponding to his own total number of skill levels in piloting, mech, and gunnery, and then rolls 2d6 to determine which column gives him the technician skill of his tech. For example, if a Mechwarrior's piloting and gunnery skill level equals 4, he makes a die roll of 8. The player reads across to column 2, which indicates that his character or his tech skill level is 2.
So, since I don't have one, what's your total skill rating?
I wrote all of that down last week.
Okay, we'll just guess 4. All right, 4.
No, I'm a 5. I'm a 5.
Ooh, look at you. You're a 5. All right.
I put an extra point into gunnery.
I rolled a 4. Is that good for you?
Still a tech level 2.
Hey, tech level 2 is all right, man.
That's true. I mean, better than having no tech.
Shut up. You know, you shouldn't be picking on poor people.
No, you're not poor. You just keep pissing them off and they quit. You can afford them. You just anger them.
You know, if they were good citizens, they wouldn't have to quit. They wouldn't be allowed to quit.
Maybe they're just sick of your traitorous ways, Max.
Ooh, ouch.
All right, aerospace personnel. Units will always have 1 pilot and 1 engineer for every aerospace fighter, and 2 pilot navigators and engineers for each dropship or jump ship in their unit. To determine skill levels for any of these personnel, roll 2d6 and consult the table below. When rolling for the piloting skill of any jump ship pilot, add 3 to the die roll. Add 1 to the piloting die roll result for any dropship pilot. Okay. That's just some art. Recon personnel. Many mech units maintain a small cadre whose primary function is to provide the main mech force with reliable intelligence about enemy positions and supply routes, water availability, and industrial targets. Smaller mech units often do not have the luxury of such specialized personnel and must use their aerospace fighters and or recon lances to obtain the same information. To determine whether the player's unit contains scouts, roll 2d6 and consult the appropriate row on the table.
4.
We have no scouts.
Then why did I make the characters?
They
got loaned out.
They probably went with your techs. If the unit does possess one or more scouts, roll 2d6 3 times to determine the skill level in rogue, diplomacy, and streetwise for each scout. Well, luckily we don't have to make those dice rolls. All right. Tell us about our initial unit assets.
Why? I'll just fail. I'll roll a 0. We're going to start in debt. There you go.
I was going to say, you're telling us about it, not, rolling the dice for it. Well, actually, no, I guess you are rolling the dice for it, but here we are.
After creating all unit personnel, each mech unit receives a certain number of group-wide credits, which it may use to purchase non-mechs equipment, spare parts, increase personal status in the form of titles and or land grants, or money in the form of house or Comstar credits. Each unit receives 70 credits for each complete 4-man lance it has, and 15 credits for each additional mech available. Thus, a full company would receive 210 credits, but a 10-man unit would receive 170. Units also receive bonus credits for each of the following support personnel: Air Lance, Dropship, Jumpship, and Scout. 5 credits for each tech. I just lost us 5 credits. With the technician skill level 3+. Oh, wait, your tech isn't good enough, so he doesn't count either. Haha. After totaling
but I have one.
Stop it. I'm trying to read. Don't be mean. After totaling all personnel credits, multiply the base result by the appropriate unit affiliation modifier shown below. Determine the actual credits available to the unit. Oh, look at that. Look at the Capellans. The Capellans, actually. Look at that. Well, we're mercenary. So we get a plus 20.
Right, we're mercenary plus 20. But this does also bring up your point about House Karita and hating mercenaries. Notice you still get the bonus credits for being a mercenary with House Karita here.
Yeah. Again, I think this is written before they had all that in play. I could be wrong because I think the house book started in like 88, if I remember correctly. So this is before then. And Karita is a strong house. They're poor, but they are strong. It's kind of funny that Steiner, which is the richest house, is only plus 10. Merrick, which has the biggest industrial base, but they got all that Civil War stuff going on.
Right. Oh, House Karita Sourcebook, November 1987. So at least a year after Mechwarrior came out.
Cool.
All right.
For example, a full company unit of Steiner regulars has an air lance but no dropships, under its control. 1 scout, 5 techs, with a technician skill of 3 or more. The unit's base credit total is 210, because we figured that out above. Plus 25, plus 10, plus 25 equals 270 credits. All right, all that stuff together is 270 credits. Multiplying by the Steiner modifier of 10% yields 297 credits total.
Steiner only gets a plus 10%?
Yeah, weird.
They're supposedly like the merchant house.
Yeah, but you know what? They're social generals and they just keep it for them. They just embezzled all the money.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You got like they just put all the money into their scout lances.
Well, yeah, into the 80-ton scout lance. That's why the Charger was developed by Steiner. Actually, I don't even know. I think that's American Mech, but I could be wrong. All right. Spending these credits now with the 297 credits of Steiner credits that unit's got, because I don't know how many we've got, because I just don't know. Let's figure out how we spend those things. Unit credits may be spent on any of the 6 following items: mech repair stores, aerospace units, backup mechs, personal equipment, house commissions, titles and grants, and company coffers. That's right. Everybody needs caffeine. What is it, Futurama? Blackjack and hookers. That's what they need. Mech repair stores. So what are mech repair stores? Probably the most important thing outside of actually being able to pilot your mech. That'd be my guess. Whether the mech unit wins or loses engagement, almost every mech involved in fighting will take some sort of external or internal damage that must be repaired, and will also have to replenish its supplies of ammunition and armor. To perform such repairs, however, the unit's techs must have a supply of replacement parts and ammunition on which to draw. For every 150 credits a unit spends, it may purchase the following package of replacement materials. 150 points for this. Just remember that. 150. That unit had 297. This is over half.
Yeah.
External armor patches, 96 points. You know, you know what I like about that? I like that it actually says points and not half tons. I actually prefer that. Life support system.
Yeah, because I mean that would just be because then you could just take it and like, okay, I took 8 points of damage, so cool, we have -8 armor patches.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Life support systems, 2 points. Engine shielding, 5 points. Replacement actuators, 7 points. Internal damage repair, 15 points. Heat sinks, 10 points. Replacement limbs, 2 points. That's just 2 total limbs across. Okay, whatever. Now, do you mind taking a moment here, Brian, and let's talk about some of these for people who might not fully understand? I doubt it. I'm sure everybody here plays Battletech, and that's why they're watching, but just in case. But let's look at the 2 life support systems. How do you take that damage?
Well, I mean, it's a critical slot.
Mm-hmm.
So, and there's 2 critical slots on a mech for life support. So,
yeah, this is for your entire unit. So, if a mech completely goes haywire, gets shot in the head, and loses 1 or 2 of its life support systems. I hope you're not on a planet where you can't breathe, by the way. But you only have 2 points to repair that.
Well, I'm not so worried about that. I mean, even in our like the recent games that I played, like there's a lot of time, like most of your hits are going towards torsos and arms.
Right. No. I get that. And if you've got 2 life support hits, you probably were hit by small lasers or something because you don't have a lot of head armor or internal structure. Maximum, 8 and 3. So
no, 9 and 3.
No, 9 and 3. You're right. 9 and 3. 9 and 3. Pardon me, Mr. Pedantic.
I mean, which is one of those things that I've always kind of wondered. It's like, why do we have so many 15-point damage weapons?
To take off heads. So now engine shielding. Once again, how do we hurt that, and why is that important?
Again, critical hit locations, and you have in 30-25 you have 6 total.
6 what total?
An individual mech has 6 critical hit locations for an engine.
I thought it was 3.
3 on top, 3 on bottom. Gyros in the middle with like
no. Okay, so engine shielding are your engine hits. Remember, each engine hit takes down 1 point of shielding.
Right.
So even though it takes 6 critical slots, you can only take 2 really, but up to 3 hits on an engine before it goes kaput.
Right.
So the engine shielding, it's not the engine critical spot, it's the engine shielding, those little dots that you fill in when you take an engine hit that this is fixing. You don't really have an engine. If you take 4 engine hits, you really don't have an engine anymore.
Right.
Oh
yeah,
God,
no, right.
Guys stop it?
No, I mean, I think like I think this is all easy enough. I mean, this is just quote unquote, critical slot.
I'm just talking about explaining this for the folks out there so they can see what this is going to. How often do you take engine shielding hits when you play Battletech?
All the time.
Right. Actually, I think they should flip replacement actuators with engine shielding.
Yeah, I take way more engine hits than I take actual like actuator hits. Not 0 actuator hits, but don't forget, your arm has 12 critical hit locations, a total of 4, which might be arm actuators. Yeah, there's yes, more engine shielding, but again, this is all I actually like A88 actually brings up a good point. You can salvage parts post battles. Sure. So this would be like your initial.
Yeah, that's fair.
Replacement.
I don't know if we'll find out later if they give salvage rules in there, but you know what? I know a book that does.
How many times have you put that on screen?
No, not enough. I'm waiting for somebody at some point to be like, "What? Nobody uses that book anymore. That's first edition." Well, we're talking first edition Mechwarrior.
That's true.
So why not use the first? Because I have the second edition Mercenaries Handbook as well. This one's so much better though. Anyway, okay. I wasn't trying to take up too much time there. I just wanted to put out why this stuff was important for folks who, if there's one person out there who doesn't play BattleTech at all or doesn't know much about BattleTech, why this is important. You got the internal damage repair, because after you get through somebody's armor, now you're getting into the skeleton of the mech. So we can repair that skeleton. We can do some bone injections for you. Heat sinks, 10 point. Really? I lose heat sinks like they just fall out of my mech. Like I'm always losing. I can hide a heat sink in my head. It will be found. I promise you that.
Right, and, which is I think is that 10 I think is probably reasonable.
Yeah, I suppose I want like 50 replacement limbs, 2 points. That's interesting. What do they mean by points in that one? I guess they just mean like 2 arms or 2 legs or 2 somethings.
For replacement limbs.
Yeah, because everything else I can see the points because you're literally circling them off on the character sheet or the BattleTech sheet. But replacement limbs says 2 points. So does that mean you have 2 arms, 2 legs?
I don't know because again with limbs, you've got the actuators, and then you'd have the internal structure. But that's also like super cheap for I just have a replacement arm for my Shadowhawk.
Well, I mean, theoretically, I could see that as being kind of a generic rule, just a generic limb, not even identifying it. So the first 2 limbs that you have to replace on a mech, who cares? You've got it in stock. Oh, yes, we have a Locust leg and a Crusader arm or something. I wouldn't have much of a problem with that just to keep the game going. But then after that, you got to figure out what you're doing.
Right.
Can I borrow that Crusader leg for a moment? I want to use it as a club and start beating people with it.
Oh no! I know. I was being a little facetious by saying it's a Shadowhawk arm, but yeah, but just because that's the other thing. Like, okay, so replacement actuators 7,500 C bills, but a replacement limb is 13,000. Does that include all 4 of the actuators involved? The shoulder, the upper arm, the lower arm, and the hand?
Well, you see, when you buy things all put together, they cost less.
That's fair.
I don't know. I think at this point we might be overthinking it a little bit. I agree with what Bruce said not Bruce. A88 said. I presume it's any limb just to save on bookkeeping. That's kind of how I see it.
Right.
It's just the word points kind of throws my mind a little bit there.
Yeah, like in this, I would just be. I think that was probably like somebody copying and pasting.
Yeah.
Whereas replacement limbs, it should just be 2.
Yeah, or 2 limbs. If you want to put something behind it. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So, because everything else is very easily assigned to either damage points or critical hit slots. And so it's like, I have 2 critical hit slots for life support, or 15 critical or 15 points for internal structure. Yeah. Good enough.
Okay, aerospace units. Units that did not receive aerospace fighters, dropships, or jump ships during step 2 of creating a mech unit may now purchase these at the following cost. Wow. 40 credits per aerospace fighter. 75 credits for a Leopard class dropship. Well, I'm glad we rolled that up, baby.
No kidding.
100 credits for a Union class dropship. 120.
We got 2. Hold on, we got 2 leopards.
2 leopards. Yeah.
That's 150 credits worth of leopards.
I'm selling those off for more heat sinks. And note, aerospace units purchased in this manner do not entitle the mech unit to receive additional credits. Only equipment obtained at the beginning counts for this purpose. Aw.
Lame.
Yeah, backup mechs. Unit may purchase reserve mechs for general use by turning credits into character points on a 1-to-1 basis. Ouch. And paying 50 character point cost for purchasing backup mechs. That's kind of expensive.
It is kind of expensive, but that is also interesting. Like the number of places that they have put in little here, you can do this to get some extra character points. Oh, do this and you get some extra character points. Yeah. So you want a backup mech? Oh, spend some of the credits to get some extra character points. Keep in mind, still counts against your 250. Your
At
250
this point,
max.
does it still count against your 250? I thought that was just for character creation. That's an interesting conundrum, because if I spent the 250 at this point, does that mean even though we have unit points, because these are unit points, these aren't personal points. This is just coming off the unit, the 200. Again, we're using the 297 from the example of the book, not from the unit that we've fictitiously put together. I would say no. I'd say that doesn't come off the 150 or 250 max, because we're now taking unit points, not personal points.
That's true, because it's reserve mechs for general use. So it's not my reserve mech. It's a reserve mech in the unit.
Yes, and I'm going to have you hand receipt that thing out, and you'll be liable with a loan, whatever it costs, whatever damages you incur, you pay.
Please make sure, or please be aware that our insurance does not cover damage incurred while you're piloting it. Was it? Oh my God, I used to sell insurance. I can't think of limitations. What's that? No. It's a limitation. Riders. Our riders do not include war. But it's a battle mech. We're aware.
You think? All right. Backup mech. So we already did that. Other equipment. Units may use credits to purchase any of the items on the list below. The credit costs given are for a single item of each type. It costs 20 credits for 50. Just think this through for a second. It costs 50 credits for a backup battle mech. It costs
a long time.
Or a long time. It costs 20 for a jetpack. Wow. And then you can see the prices there: scanalyzers, skimmers, etc. A Jeep is 15. Man, I could get, so for three Jeeps and some spare parts from a Jeep, I could get a battle mech. Okay, house commissions, titles, and grants. Units may use credits to buy enhanced status in the form of titles or land grants from the house they serve. They may also purchase from 3 levels of official awards. Peerage gives all mech warriors in the units the title of knight, a land grant of 10 square kilometers, and a promise of lodging in any house barracks. Aw. Aristocracy. Look at me. I told you we're fighting for Davion. Gives all warriors in the unit title of baronet, baronnier for the Français, and a land grant of approximately 500 square miles to manage and administer. Screw that, man. Get somebody else to admit it. Get a chamberlain. High aristocracy for 120 credits. I mean, this is House Steiner for you. Gives each warrior in the unit a title of baron and a land grant of approximately 1,000 square kilometers to manage and administer, and to deal with all the little whiny people that, hey, he said his music too loud, I don't like this, and the cars are driving too fast, and yeah, forget that. All right, and finally, company coffers. And this is where you get your coffee from the right source and your Tembiqui Dark. After units have made all their expenditures from the above 5 categories, they may convert any remaining credits into money for the initial company coffer. Groups may purchase money in either 2 forms, H-bills or house bills, or negotiable currency anywhere within the house boundaries, territories of the current house allies, and free traders and merchants, albeit at often discounted value. C-bills or Comstar bills are negotiable anywhere within the successor states. For each credit point spent, unit may purchase 1,000 C-bills. This is an area that I think Battletech, I don't want to say screwed up, but didn't impress more, especially in the novels. And that's house bills. Everything is C-bills. I don't even know why they spent all this time in the books, because it's in various books, it's not just in this one, talking about house bills. They have conversion rates for house bills. And then everything from novels to gameplay to whatever else always ever use C-bills. I actually, in my games, we didn't do Mechwarrior like this. We were talking more Battletech. We absolutely used house bills because we found it more fun and kind of how do I say this? It immersed you more for if you had to do the conversions.
Well, yeah, and on top of that, it's gonna have it's going to be just a little bit more immersive as well.
Right. And it'd be neat that if you got a Capellan design like the Vindicator, because that's really the only one that existed at this point, and then you wanted to get a Karita design, a Panther. It would cost me less to get the Vindicator than you because I'm within house, within House Liao, and it costs you less to get the Panther because you're within House Krita, and you got those trades going on. Is this all fluff? Yes, but that's what makes, I don't know, house bills to me always made more sense. The successor states aren't big buddy.
Right. Well, and like you can hand wave a lot of that kind of stuff in a fantasy setting, because okay, you could say, okay, gold coin, all gold coins are approximately this size, so it doesn't matter if you're in the kingdom of Baravia or the Duchy of
Jeepers, he went all the way to Ravenloft for that one.
I thought I was making up words, to be
no,
honest.
Baravia, that's where Lord Strahd lives.
Okay. Anyways, but point being,
it's a Barovia.
Literally, I was trying to make stuff up, so don't think I was trying to be, accurate in any way. But a gold coin is going to be a gold coin for all intents and purposes. But with this, okay, yes, it's 1,000 years in the future, but let's be honest. Essentially, it's modern monetary theory.
Yeah.
So like exchange rates and GDP and all that stuff, quote unquote, does actually exist. So yeah.
So the other part of this though is if they didn't want that, if they wanted the simplified. And I get it. Most gamers just kind of want to get to it. They don't want all these spreadsheets and so forth. Gamers back then liked more spreadsheets than gamers now do. I can understand just having C-bills. And I know it's just one paragraph right here, but if you look through these books, you're going to find conversion rates for all this stuff. I wish they would have utilized that more, even in the novels. If somebody went to Terra, for that wedding that I read off last week, and would have been like, oh, you've got Steiner bills. Hold on, let me convert that for you. Even just little passages like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're right, but I this is obviously like the key here.
Mm-hmm.
C-bills make sense in the fact that Comstar needed a powerhouse currency to keep a stranglehold on interstellar communications.
Sure. No. I get all that. Then my counter to that is let's not even deal with house bills and just say Comstar bills are the universal currency. And if you get to the periphery, now you're bartering and trading in wheat and iron ore or something. Like I'm not complaining. I'm not trying to complain here. I'm just saying it's such an underutilized concept that you can tell that they wanted to use more, or they implied its use more, that just didn't get used because people are like water, man. They're going to go to the simplest, easiest solution. And if that's the case, they shouldn't even have bothered with house bills.
Right.
I thought it was such a good concept though, and I enjoyed utilizing house bills.
No,
it was extra steps.
I don't disagree. Hold on one second, Max. I have to say something to Kim. Well,
then I will be the clapping monkey here with the symbols, and I'll keep talking. I don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill. It's just one of those. It's honestly, it's not that important. I just always, every time I see house bills, I'm always like, oh, they could have done more with that. That's really all that I'm trying to say here. So if you're located on a backwater planet, H bills would be more common. No, I agree, but that's up to the game master to do at that point. And to be fair, a lot of people are like, man, just how many C bills is it? Because the book says it's 100 C bills. Oh, let me convert. Well, it's minus 20% because I'm Capellan, so that means wait, I have to do the math backward. It means it actually cost me 124 C bills or whatever.
Well, and even in something like Mechwarrior 1 for the video game.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was
best. That's the only Mechwarrior video game.
Oh my gosh, that one was so, like, even for as crap as those graphics are, I mean, like, you have like, here is hill, here is building, and that's it.
That game was tied to your processor, so I was playing on an 8088 Tandy computer at the time. So I would literally start a mission, go up, make a sandwich, walk the dog, come back, and I'd just be getting into combat because it was tied, because I didn't have a 286 at the time. But I state that that's the only Mechwarrior game because it's the only one that actually plays like Battletech. All the other ones take too many liberties.
No, I'm a fan of Mechwarrior 3. Mechwarrior 3 was my personal favorite. Mechwarrior 2,
yeah, Pimp-a-Mech. That's Mechwarrior 3, Pimp-a-Mech.
Yeah, well, I mean,
No.
they had the mech construction rules and they worked. Um, but also, but also when you compare like MechWarrior 2, like MechWarrior 3 actually had quote unquote like legitimate storyline, whereas MechWarrior 2,
That's fair.
it's like, oh, it's uh, you know, Jade Falcon or Clan Wolf, and who's good at like, and actually they get to and conquer Earth, and it's like that never happened in any of the like the storyline was completely wrong.
MechWarrior 2
Um,
Mercenaries is still the best soundtrack of I think any game ever.
I don't know. I never did well with the Mercenaries ones for some
Just
reason.
listen to the soundtrack. Man, I can instantly tell when somebody's playing that in the background. I listened to it so much back in the day that I can instantly that's MechWarrior 2 soundtrack. like
Nice.
that. Such a good one.
But no, but the no, but original MechWarrior, like, but yeah, they still dealt with C-bills.
Yep.
The story was great.
Yep.
My personal favorite thing is like what we would do is we would start a game. So it's like, okay, I'm just starting another playthrough. You save it and back out. And we'd figured out with a hex editor
Oh,
where
jeez.
to actually go into the save file.
Cheater.
Oh yeah, we were we'd already played through the campaign like 20 times at this
Oh, that's
point.
fair. I'm gonna start calling you Heathen Dog now.
Okay, I played through legitimately a couple of times, but then we went through and like figured out, oh, if we change this hex code, and save it again, we can then start with like,
Mhm.
You
could go in and change the damage of the weapons too.
Right. The only one I ever knew about was the money. I wasn't worried about the damage, but anyway, that was
one shot kills. I'm not gonna lie, I did the same thing. Not with the money. I never did it with the money because the negotiating thing was so easy. You could always get decent money. Sometimes with Karita, they were a little stingy, but I went in and I edited PPCs on my Marauder. So there's like 400 points of damage. Boom.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, we did the money because then like you didn't have to worry about, being able to travel around. You could go, you could buy the mechs whenever they came up. The problem is you then always got to the last scenario where you have to like beat the guy and take your title back. And all of your co-pilots were all green because you didn't actually like, go take the contracts to level them up and get a few extra bucks to then move on to the next one. Oh, such good time.
I like the big long blue line of the PPC.
Yeah. Oh man, that was great.
I wish they'd update the graphics. The reason why I say that's pure MechWarrior isn't just because it's the first one. Oh my God, Max, you only like the first thing. It's because actually for all the stuff that I bet you guys like, I don't. I don't like pimping the mech. I like playing the mech as given, and that's how you learn how to play it. So without all the customization rules, because again, the military isn't going to give you assign you to a mech and hey, here's that F-22, but it's okay, man. If you want to take out the avionics and put in something from the Chinese made, go ahead and do it. Oh, you want? They don't let you do things like that. Yes, there are different loadouts, but mechs aren't built like that. That's why I use the M1 Abrams as the example. Oh, you don't like the gun that's on there? That's fine. Just go to the scrapyard and go find one you like and plug it in. No, you use what you're issued.
Unless
everybody who's ever played BattleTech more than twice can build a mech that is better than what's in the TROs. We know this.
Unless you're running an Omni mech, when in that case, the military has decided you get to swap out your.
I understand that we're fighting for Davian, but I don't speak French.
I don't speak French.
Actually, je parle français, mais but Omni mech, I don't know what you're talking about. You know what? Tell us how we get assignments now.
All right, typical battle mech assignments, also known as what kind of adventures you can go on.
Woo-hoo.
Once the players have generated a mech unit, have outfitted it, and are ready to begin, some game masters may be uncertain about how to get the players group started and what kind of events should occur during the course of their adventures. This section offers some suggestions. Almost every MechWarrior scenario a game master will ever run begins with a combat assignment. The players will receive instructions from their military superiors if they are a house unit, or from their current patron if they are a mercenary unit. Of course, units starting the campaign without any sort of affiliation will first have to find an employer, which may require the party to take on a temporary assignment from a local bureaucrat or private corporation to earn the funds to get off-world. The following sections describe a number of the most common mech duty assignments and provide guidelines on the types of encounters that are likely to occur during each.
So I just realized that the 31st century doesn't have any grounding in reality whatsoever.
And
Do you know
tell
what
us
do you know
why.
what your first mission would be? Or your first like 20 missions would be?
Training.
There you go. Are we doing this again? Yep, doing it again. Till you guys get it right. You'd be going through months and months and months of just training. We're going to train here. We're going to train there. We're going to train there again because you guys screwed it up. Hey, you did a great job, but was it a fluke? Let's train there again. You're going to be doing things that are so repetitive that you hate your life.
Or you could do that while you're on garrison duty.
Yeah.
Garrison duty. Garrison duty is the most common of all mech assignments. As its name implies, the players become part of all of the standing defensive mech force posted on a given world to protect it against all comers. That includes enemy attack, subversion or revolt from within, or the depredations of the bandit kings. Most mech units dislike such duty because garrison shifts, especially on backwater planets lacking significant resources to draw enemy attention, rarely offer much chance for profit or reputation-enhancing battle. Nonetheless, it is precisely the sort of assignment given to a unit low on a house's totem pole, as a player's unit will almost certainly be during its first few months of campaign existence. Let's see. In Aerotech, all the pilots live in 5 stars hotel with maid service.
Look, the Air Force is never going to change. So that's right.
Let's see. Even though many garrison shifts are uneventful, there are ways a game master can liven up the player's tour on a planet. First, he can make the planet the target of a full-scale attack by an enemy mech force. Possibly one that is coming from beyond the periphery. Or more likely, of hit and run raids by periphery water raiders or the enemy house saboteurs. Alternatively, the players may encounter rumors or physical evidence of rebellion among the native populace and have to root out the troublemakers.
Natives have gone restless.
Interesting adventure opportunities can even occur during a seemingly peaceful tour of duty if the unit is called upon to investigate rumors of a secret Star League supply cache. To explore such a facility and remove or neutralize any still functioning security measures, or to guard an incoming trade shipment or important personage such as a visiting noble or ambassador. Garrison duty should give virtually all characters in a mech unit ample opportunity for encounters both inside and outside their mechs. Game masters using the encounter tables in random encounters and events as a means of generating encounters should roll on the general events table twice per month.
Wow.
All right. So, real quick, I'm going to say there's a couple of things that you could do with this. Okay. Number one, the training thing, like going off of the training thing that you mentioned. Say you've got a new player. Okay. Like, before you get in to quote unquote serious or long lasting events,
you haze them.
Right. Kind of use it as a training scenario. Use it as something to teach them how to play Battletech.
Again, you give a new player a dervish and a dervish and a crusader, and if he doesn't complain about heat, he's allowed to be your friend and continue to play Battletech. If he whines about heat, this isn't the game for him. Make him go away.
No.
Hey, Seraphis, I got your message and I took care of it. Thank you.
Right. No, but I'm just talking about again, it's like it is a way that you can teach somebody how to play Battletech, but do it with a little bit less of a stakes because it's a training mission, something like that. Anyways, I just thought of that. I thought that would be a fun way to do it.
Well, you could always, so you could treat a real mission or a training mission like a real mission. You could always go to any one of these and be like, oh no, the Capellans are attacking again. And you go out there and fight. Like, okay, those are all powered down weapons or whatever. I mean, obviously the players would probably know that beforehand, or the characters would know that beforehand. But treat it like a real mission, and then do a mission debrief afterward. Yeah, I mean, you can do anything as a training scenario. My commentary was more tongue in cheek. Was like, you got a brand new unit, great, go to war. It's like, no. I mean, I guess there were some in World War II that did a little bit like that, but generally speaking, it's like, okay, you got a unit, great, go train for the next 5 years before we send you on something, and half of you guys are too injured to actually go on missions, so we got to keep replacing you. And no, now you get a real mission. Holy Wars and repressing natives. Please tell me more about the game. Where did Holy Wars come in?
I have no idea.
Well, there was the Jihad. That's technically
that's true. That's
the Comstar Holy War.
All right, well, Max, tell us about planetary assaults. Oh, the Crusaders.
Oh, Crusade. Nice. That's a battle mech, sir, but that's a good one. Touche. Planetary assault. It's kind of in the name. But, all right, we'll read it. On an assault assignment, the player's unit becomes part of a full-scale offensive force sent to an enemy-held world with orders to attack and secure the world for their house. To achieve such a takeover, the assault force will have to engage and defeat the enemy mech garrison station on the world and eliminate any other defensive forces present. Conventional armor and infantry units, static and mobile artillery, and so forth. One thing that is awesome about the 3025 era is that you actually could do a planetary assault with 8 mechs. And it wouldn't be out of place. Because the theory behind that is you probably have maybe another battalion or 2 of tanks, maybe more than that, maybe even 2 regiments of tanks and infantry. Battle mechs are supposed to be somewhat rare until the Helm Corps is found and they spurred them out. Just plopped out mechs like, like bunny rabbits procreating. What about defeating the citizenry and replacing them with your own superior citizenry? Well, I mean, that's called the Capellan Confederation, of course. That's why we only certain people can be citizens. Do you want me to continue on short-term assaults?
I'll take the next.
Like this live stream is my short-term assault upon Brian somehow?
No, Goths is being Goths. Short-term assault assignments. Over the course of a major campaign, the player's unit will normally be given a number of short-term assault assignments. The group's mechs may be asked to conduct advanced reconnaissance of a region to secure a specific territorial objective, ranging from a strategically located farmhouse, hill, or watercourse to an entire industriplex or a major city, or to assault an enemy unit, supply cache, or repair depot.
We go get the golf course. Hello, Air Force.
That would involve you leaving the hotel with the maid service.
To go play golf? Have you met an airman? Especially an officer? They're fighting for that golf. Andrews had 2 of them when I was there.
I was going to say, I think, I mean, I haven't been on many military bases, but I think Miramar, I know Miramar has a really big one right up against the main road.
I don't know about like Marine bases and Army posts and so forth as much. I'm sure they do have them, most of them, but you won't. Look, Kunsan, a little tiny air base in Korea, had a golf course. I mean, if there's a postage stamp, they will find a way of fitting a flight line and a golf course around there, and then popping all the other buildings they might need around that. Aim high. I love the Air Force. I will always... I'm going to be like a Marine from now. Once an airman, always an airman.
What? I'm
he
trying
thinks
to.
I'm joking. He thinks I'm being funny. And
I'm not thinking.
A nerd's nerd knows. She knows I'm being serious.
No, when you're like, oh, I'm going to be like a Marine, I'm trying to find a way to like, what's the crayon equivalent for the Air Force? And I wasn't.
We're chairborne Rangers.
The crayon.
Yeah,
equivalent.
they eat crayons. We just sit back and watch them.
Anyway.
Marines are our YouTube channels. What are you talking about?
During the same. See, I'm not the only one. Fort Irwin has a golf course. Yeah, I trust me. I'm in Arizona, the old Williams Air Force Base, which is no longer an Air Force base. There's a golf course out there.
Probably still maintained by some airmen, some retired colonel somewhere.
Oh no, they've turned it into like, well, it's an airport. It's a campus of Arizona State University. And the golf course is still maintained as a golf course, but now it's just like privately owned. All right. During the same time period, a unit's scouts and aerospace fighter pilots are also likely to be busy, but on totally different areas of the planet. The scouts are usually gathering intelligence about enemy troop strength and movements and relaying that information back to Assault Central Command. Meanwhile, the fighter pilots will be conducting aerial reconnaissance flights or bombing missions. Yes, to protect the golf course, providing support fire for mech assaults, or attempting to seek out and destroy any remaining enemy fighters that might endanger the golf course. Assignment to a planetary assault team is generally considered a plum, for it usually gives Mechwarrior units their best chances for obtaining booty. Booty shorts. Also, it could be
This was the 80s, dude. Don't say that. That's
no. Kim found these videos where this guy basically will take an episode of like He-Man or Thundercats or whatever, and basically just kind of like speed watch through it, so it ends up being like 4 or 5 minutes. But he's essentially narrating the whole story as if he is we'll say an inner city youth. And anytime He-Man would show up, like he's telling the story and blah blah blah, and this happens and that happens, and then He-Man shows up and he's like, booty shorts, and then just keep going on with the story.
nice.
All right. Also, it can be an excellent opportunity to earn experience. Most player characters will soon discover, especially if the invading and defending forces are evenly matched, that these rewards come hard-earned. Depending on the size of the contending forces and the tactics employed by each, an invasion campaign can take anywhere from a few days to weeks or even months. The time pressure will weigh most heavily on the attackers, as a campaign lasting more than 4 to 6 weeks normally allows the enemy sufficient time to bring reinforcements onto the scene, substantially altering the balance of the campaign. During an assault, the Game Master should provide mech units with new adventure opportunities in the form of new assignments or random encounters from the battlefield events table on a daily or even twice daily basis. There is nothing wrong with player characters finding they have barely enough time to patch their wounds and mechs from one battle before being hauled into another.
This next type of mission right here is a great thing, especially if you want to incorporate some of those other characters. Let's say Brian's character, because not mine, my character, is a Capellan, so I would have ran. I mean, I would have fought honorably. Let's say his mech warrior gets injured and he needs to rest up for a little bit. Well, you can pull out one of those other characters that you made. Remember the troop type stuff. And hey, the war is not going well for us. In order to make, we can't keep putting our mechs and tanks out there in the meat grinder. We need some ammunition. We need some food. We need something smaller scale, but more, we'll call it more human. You can go on a raid, man.
So tell us about it, Max.
I will tell you about that then. Apparently it's my turn. So raiding and sabotage missions like Assault require that players invade and attack an enemy-held world. Unlike an Assault, however, the objectives of raid or sabotage missions are usually more limited. They often involve a significantly smaller force, often 1 or 2 companies or the player's unit alone. Are 2 mechs. Possible objectives of such assignments might include the following: raiding for water resources, especially if they're working for one of the Bandit Kings, kidnapping scientists or techs, or theft of their current research projects. Infiltration. Don't do that, because then you get this stupid triple strength Myanmar that's susceptible to gas. We don't want that. Never, ever do that again.
Oh, but it makes a fun plot for an entire series of novels.
You know what makes a better plot? Cloning Hans Davian. Did you ever read that one?
I did.
That was such a poorly written book, but so funny at the same time. Anyway, sabotage of key installations, conducting punitive raids. Now, these are all big. These are unit missions, right? I still say that, you know what? You can do smaller missions just with the PCs to go get some MREs because you're all starving, to go get some ammunition, to go blow up a bridge.
Especially if that planetary assault is taking way longer than it's supposed to.
And Seraphis actually has the best mission of all time. Raiding for golf balls. That is right. We're out. And we need to go get some. All right. Conducting punitive raids. This seldom occurs in campaigns between successor state houses, but is common in conflicts between houses and Bandit Kings. Such assignments usually have very short time of 2 to 5 days, as the attacking force will generally not have the firepower to hold out against a combined might of a full planetary defense force. Distracting raids. Hey, look at us. We're here. Oh, look, we're taking your golf balls. Ha, 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 ha. You can't play golf here. And when they come in to swarm you to get you off the golf course, you go take over the real golf course and go, play in a tournament, Tiger Woods. We're... What?
Just the golf references.
Well, again, I guess I'm taking the side of the aerospace forces today. So where are we? 2 to 5 days are likely to produce 1 to 3 battlefield encounters per day. That's because you are being pretty aggressive. The overall benefits to a unit from a successful mission of this type will normally be lower than for an assault, but an especially energetic group can usually turn circumstances to greater advantage. Carnage, baby. Some missions may require that units spend more time outside of their mechs than in. Oh, or even leave their mechs off planet entirely. It's almost like I prognosticated that. Is that my word today? I said prognosticated a lot today.
At least 4 times.
At least 4 times. You know what? I got to get a new vocabulary. You can grab my thesaurus.
Bruce.
Okay, yes, there you go. It's like, and that was us. You know why? Because we took those for landing gear for our aerospace.
Right, exactly. We were running out of parts for the aerospace fighters, and unfortunately, they're a little bit more important than the golf course, but we ain't going to leave the golf course down that long. If there's one thing that an air jockey will say is more important than the golf course, it would be his plane. Right, exactly. See? But he had a tear when he was taking those golf cart wheels. He had a tear, like, he sorry, did, baby. He named each and every one of those golf carts, and that is why we then went on a raid to get more golf cart wheels in order to. No, we went to get plane wheels so we could put the golf cart wheels back. Yeah, I suppose. Look, sounds like extra work, but yeah. We went looking for wheels. We took the first ones we found. I just figured we'd take the golf carts home with us in the planes, and then we have more golf carts. And all we have to do is go get some wheels. And you know what? I'm at home safe right now. We've got requisition money. How many points do golf carts cost? Would you say it is equivalent to or less than a Jeep? Well, Jeep was 15. I'd say at least to an airman, I'd say that golf cart is probably 10. Okay, fair. I'm glad chat's having fun with this too. I know. For the record, folks, there's 16 of you. Feel free to hit the like button and make sure to share this with all of your friends. Hit like twice if you're liking what I'm saying. 3 times if you like, what all right. Relief duty. Attempting to relieve a planetary garrison under attack is perhaps the most dreaded assignment a mech unit ever receives, except for the one where they get told that their golf carts have no wheels. Unlike the U.S. cavalry in Hollywood westerns, which always arrives eventually to save the day, or the golf carts. Now I'm just envisioning golf cart cavalry.
Oh, it's like the Shriners. You remember the old Shriners? You don't know what it is. I'm sure there's a YouTube video out there somewhere. I know they've been kind of like poo-pooed in recent years because of some of their antics. But just go look up the Shriners during parades.
Many relief mech units land on world only to find that they are, quote, reinforcing defeated units who have retreated somewhere into the planet's backwater. Even in cases where the defenders remain steadfast, reinforcements must usually fight their way onto the world through a gauntlet of hostile aerospace fighters and enemy mechs, who hold many of the best positions. The Game Master should have battlefield and other encounters during a relief assignment occur at roughly the same frequency as in an assault. These are likely to be of greater severity, however. Scouts in particular will be very busy in the days following landing, while they attempt to develop reliable information on the locations of both sides. In a situation where the original garrison has already gone guerrilla before the player's characters arrive, the relief team may decide or be ordered to split its forces, using one group to attempt to hold the enemy at bay, while the other goes into the backcountry to hunt down and rally their surviving comrades at arms.
The scouts are really out there looking at that par 3 and trying to figure out why a par 3 has a dog leg.
It sounds like somebody's about to riot.
Yeah, right? Well, you know what? That should be a par 4 at best, whatever. As a result of the general decline in the military might and administrative capabilities of successor houses, but they know how to keep score, and the continuing economic hardships and shortages that prevail throughout the inner sphere, outbreaks of civil disturbance and rebellion have become a fairly common occurrence, especially in House Davian. Just saying, that Taurian border, just, might want to take a look down there. Where is it? In most cases, the regular on-world garrison will have the responsibilities for suppressing civil unrest and restoring planetary order. In the rare instance where revolutionary forces gain access to mechs or aerospace fighters or the entirety of House Merrick, outside mech units may be called in to put down the revolt. Few mech warriors will find putting down rebellions to be a desirable assignment, for it places them in the unenviable position. Wow, I cannot speak. Although exposed to rebel attacks, they will be restricted in their ability to retaliate because of the need to keep intact any planetary facilities the golf course they eventually retake. Because of this restriction and the rebels' ability to conceal their activities, the players may find that the effort to quell civil unrest may take weeks or even months to accomplish, despite an often substantial superiority in firepower.
Yeah, let's be honest. You can have too many bunkers on the course.
Well, what they do is they convert them to mini golf, and you have to beat them back with those golf clubs, man. Nobody wants mini golf.
I like mini golf.
What's that?
I like mini golf.
Actually, so do I. I'm like the one airman. I'll be honest. I'm like the one airman who doesn't golf. When I was a kid, I actually had golf clubs. I learned to golf and so forth. But I picked tennis as my rich kid sport. So I was a big tennis player.
Never got into either, but here we are.
As in relief assignments, scouts and aerospace fighter pilots will normally play a particularly important role in riot duty because the intelligence gleaned from their activities is often the only means the unit has for identifying the location of the whole of the rebel forces. Sorry. The airman thing, man. Nevertheless, mech warriors should also find plenty of opportunity to use their combat skills both inside and outside their mechs. No, they are not allowed on the force. What's that mech? Is that an Oscout?
That's an Ost something.
Ossault. I think that's an Ossault. It might be Oscout. I forget. The Ostmechs are so ugly.
I was to say, I didn't like any of them.
They were based on Robotech design, though, if I remember correctly.
Everybody said that they were technically based on the Zentradi battle pods.
Yeah, the officer's battle pod was the Marauder, and the other battle pods, I know for sure the one with like the 4 thingies sticking out of it, whichever Ost that was definitely one.
But the thing is that the battle pods still had the chicken style legs, And so the thing is, like the Ost series were declared unseen,
Mhm.
but at some point, they decided they're like, no, this is stupid. We changed up this, like this looks absolutely nothing like it. So they're technically not unseen anymore.
Yeah, I mean that radar X. I mean Rifleman that's on the screen right there. That's not a copy of anything.
Exactly. So no, but it is one of those things that like everybody said that, and I'm like, these are completely different. I don't know what you're talking about. That's dumb.
What unit is that? Or what affiliation is that?
This?
Yep.
I don't know.
Hendrix Grimm.
Sure.
No, right there. That's Hendrix Grimm eyeball.
Sure.
I'm trying to see what's on the Rifleman. I can't quite tell.
That's super blurry. You'd have to look in the book. Page 30.
Right, page 30 in that thing. Who's hunting the bandits? I always liked what was his name? Hendrix Grimm, that fat dude. I always thought it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna. Oh god, that's way too tiny, dude. It looks like no, it's Grimm on Grimm. It's eyeball on eyeball.
Well, no, maybe they're not fighting each other. Maybe they're fighting whatever this.
They're bandit kings. You know they're fighting each other because
no, I'm just saying, like,
because somebody just said, "Can you kicked your ball in the hole?" And the other guy's like, "No, I did not. That fell in naturally on its own 10 minutes after I completed my stroke."
Goss. It has an O on its chest, so I'm assuming it is aligned with Oprah.
Well, that's a gun, I think. Isn't that a center torso large laser?
I know, but in the drawing, it looks like
it looks like an O. All right, I will stop the golf jokes. Nope.
No, you won't.
About it. It has the tomahawk with the UN space. Oh yeah. It had even in the 3025 technical readout, you can see the Robotech numbers right on them, like the unit designations. You're like, what the? Oh, I wasn't done yet. Oh no, that's the beginning of the new.
No, that is. Yeah. You finished it. So
okay.
Did we want to do equipment today?
I think I've got the energy and the time, so it's up to you. Are you going to get a frying pan to the back of the head if we do this?
I don't know. Am I going to get a frying pan to the back of the head if we keep going? Yes. She said yes. So I think we're at a good stopping point.
Okay, we're at a good stopping.
No, I mean, actually,
that's why we're just the talent. We got a producer in the background with a frying pan ready to, or in my case, a flying pan. My wife's Japanese.
Oh my gosh, I have been laughing so much because I've been seeing these reels lately. It's this Asian guy who he's like the worship leader at a church, so he's playing guitar, but like it always starts with singing songs with an Asian accent that I don't have. Part 37. So it's like he clearly like grew up in like Iowa or something and is like 4th generation Asian in America or something. And so it's super bad, like stereotypically Asian accent. And he's just singing songs that like have all the L's and the R's.
No, it's funny. I heard somebody recently say, and I don't know, was it on a debate show? I don't know. I heard somebody saying it's talking about Japanese. Oh, you know, Japanese can't say R's. And it's like, that's not true. If you actually listen to Japanese words, or I'm sorry, we're talking Battletech here. If you listen to Korean words, you will find out that anytime you're expecting an L, you're going to hear an R. Anytime you're expecting an R, you're going to hear an L. And the reason for that is their letter is literally where you put your tongue is literally in between the two. It is that's one of the reasons why it's really hard for Americans to mimic it, because we're used to with the tongue in front or with the tongue kind of bent in the back. Find that halfway point. That's the Japanese R. Ro.
Okay.
Germans couldn't say G, and that's why we have Wales instead of Gael. What? I don't know. They say genau a lot, which is perfect, I think. Grenza, which is in my riff song.
Anyways.
There's something I'm missing in that joke.
I'm missing it as well, but I think Goss will tell us while we're closing out. But no, regardless, I actually really like that section. Number one, just how to create the mech unit. I think they had like I think especially for what I am going to term a cobbled together rule set. I actually think they put that together really well. And I actually really liked the adventure section. Hey, this is stuff that you're going to do as a Mechwarrior unit.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
The only thing that I think the adventure section was missing, and this is why I was interjecting some of that stuff about the dumb golf course stuff, is I wish they would tone some of it down. Don't get me wrong. The big objective raids for ice, the planetary assaults, I'm for that. I wish they would have put some lower scale stuff in there as well. Like literally, go watch a World War II movie and say, we just need to blow up this bridge. Yeah, I know I mentioned the farmhouse, but I think that's the only thing that I kind of wish that they would have touched on a little more. It's not a mistake of the book, and so much of that book, yes, I've been shown it a bunch of times, but so much of that book is just expounded upon with this. So once you make the characters, once you have the unit together, or you can put the unit together through that. It's a great starting point. It's a great simplistic starting point to get your unit off the ground. I think I'm with Brian on this because he said it a couple times. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it'd be more fun just to have you sitting down as the players and deciding what you want to do. And I usually always say roll. I'm making a whole ton of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles characters, and I always roll for the animal because I think it's more fun and interesting that way. But in this case, I think it'd be more fun to actually sit down and plot out what it is you want your little organization to be.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, I think having the tables versus coming up with what you want to do is a good compromise. Like, think about it. Like, if you and I are sitting there and it's like, okay, what are we going to do? Okay, I want us to be Federated Commonwealth, and you're like, absolutely not.
I don't even know what that means. What is that term?
That's technically 3039. That's still within your wheelhouse.
No. I don't even accept the forced succession war.
Oh, fair enough. Well, but my point being, you want to be House Liao, I want to be something else, and so, having the chart for when you reach those sticking points, let the players decide, or if the GM has something specific where it's like, okay, I need you guys doing this, but if the players and the GM can't agree, cool, we can roll off for it. And they have it all in there, and I think it puts it together very well and makes it, like it felt very, very Battletech.
Yep.
So I like how they did that.
No, I agree. So. I agree, especially for the first offering in terms of a role-playing game and a first offering in terms of unit cohesion and putting it all together. I think it's absolutely amazing. I'm glad there are other books that came after it to help flesh some things out, but I think it's absolutely amazing to get you started. Yep.
Right. So, all right. Well, let's see. So next week, we will be talking about, well, I know
if I would have shut up at some point today, we could have got through it today.
No. This is exactly how I want it to run. I even loved all the jokes. So, let's see. All right. So next week is equipment.
A bunch of color pages.
Wow, that is a lot of
pages that fall out of your book.
Yeah, I'm looking. Well, I'm looking at the index or the table of contents right now. That is a lot of pages before we get to the combat section. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, how much of this equipment are we going to look at though?
I don't know. You assume like I've pre-read everything and
no. It's like when Heathen Dog and I do this, when we start when we come across things that's just like equipment list, we pick like a couple of the common things or something that's really quirky that we really like. We usually only pick a couple of equipment items. We don't read them all. But it's your show. I'm just curious as to how you want to do it. But it seems like there's a lot of
we just hit page 30 and it goes to almost page 70. So we won't cover everything, but that's going to be a big chunk of stuff to cover. So next week we're just going to talk about equipment.
Is that a snowmobile? There's a snowmobile we're covering. That looks like a snowmobile.
I don't know.
No, it's a skimmer. They need snowmobiles.
They need snowmobiles. Anyways, so next week we'll talk about equipment. And then week after we'll get into combat, where we will probably be skipping a lot and probably ending soon is when we get into a lot of this background stuff. Over in this section. So
what? Look at that. We talked about economy today. Go look at page 103. There's an entire section on economics. We need to talk either Keynesian or Austrian theory with all the folks out there in the 31st century.
Okay. Max, I'm going to put it this way, which is a little bit out of character for what we've been doing tonight. By the way, super, super fun. I was just saying we might not be covering that because I am just trying to be, respectful of your time that you are graciously giving me on a Wednesday evening.
I'm a furloughed government employee. What's time?
Hey, that is totally fair. Again,
by the way, I need money, people. They're not paying me right now.
Right. But
send him super chats.
Yeah, send me super chats. But if you want to send Max super chats, you'll have to go to his show. Anyways, that wasn't the point. So, anyways, point being, we'll see when we get there. Max apparently is in this for however long of a haul it is, I guess. But, we'll figure
Not like
it out.
I have a choice.
Not like it. What do you mean? Of course you have a choice.
What I'm scared of, we hit that 61 days and all of a sudden we start getting pink slips. Like, what?
Right. So, all right. Well, folks, before we get too completely off topic, thank you so much for joining us today. As always, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button in odd number of clicks only, and
including any clicks you may have already applied.
Right, exactly. Also, do go check out Max's channel. Max, what do you have coming up over at Legion of Myth?
It's funny you say that because I just got the message from Heathen Dog while we were streaming. So this Sunday, we're going to be starting 2 hours early because I have a VA interview apparently after that to see if I warrant any sort of VA entitlements after however many years. He's going to be depending on when you want. Segment 1 is going to be, this is all AD&D 2nd edition encounters, NPCs, and then vision and light, like how it works in that game. I think I'm going to be covering the next Rifter, which I think is number 28. The Rifter number 28. These Rifters have been absolutely amazing. I've totally thrown off by how good those generally are, and now wish I would have collected them when I was younger. So that's what I'm going to be covering. I don't know what in that Rifter yet because I was going to do something else originally and didn't happen. So it's going to be a Rifter and I don't know exactly what in there, but that's it. AD&D 2nd edition and the Rifter from Palladium Books. And that will be Sunday at 11 p.m. Central, 12 noon Eastern.
Awesome. All right. And don't forget, folks, especially if you're someone like me who lives in a state without daylight savings time, Sunday daylight savings time ends. So,
get an hour of sleep.
Adjust your schedule accordingly. Also, for me, obviously, just I'd appreciate it if you subscribe, come back and, see what I put up. It's random stuff all the time. Yesterday, I put up a video of a board game that I played back in March, and I picked it up yesterday and played it with, let's just say that 8 people and 2 toddlers makes for a very interesting evening, but it was a lot of fun. I absolutely loved every second of it. And I will also remind everyone, I do have my second channel. It's still growing very slowly, but I have new fancy graphics for my videos over at Reading Wikis For You that Max actually helped with. So check those out. Tell me how horrible they are so I can make Max make them better.
There you go. There's one last thing. They got a comment, dude. Comment. And matter of fact, all your comments should say, I subscribed after watching this because Battletech is awesome, at least 3025. Mechwarrior First Edition is awesome, and MaxLiao is awesome.
Yes, all of the above. Anyways, folks, thanks for watching. We will talk to you next time. Thanks for being here.